we have CC tomorrow, so I'm gonna have earlier lunch. Then I'm gonna go out. But
OK， 我要开始了啊。Hello, this is Binni here. Thanks a lot for joining the session. Can you see my screen and hear me? This video is streamed into YouTube. So for those in YouTube, please let me know whether you are able to hear myself and see the screen. If you can, just type yes. All right, thank you. Let's get started. Before I start, today I'm going to share with you how I screen my stocks, because today we recently launched TAT in TradingView, which is something that I'm proud of, my creation. I've modified TAT, which is what I've been trading for about 20 years already, or maybe 10, maybe 18, something like that. So finally it's being put into TradingView, and I make a huge revision to that. And in this revision, what I did was to also put in the screening function. That means that we are able to scan for stocks. Not only to scan for stocks, meaning that if you're trading into Forex or indexes or crypto, and you're trading in the lower time frames, such as the 1 hour or the 15 minutes, you are able to receive alerts and screening of that. So today, the session is to share with you how this is being done, and then how you can use that to find what kind of signals. Okay. So I will be covering mainly on stocks. So that means that I won't be talking about FX or indexes, etc. I just focus on stocks, because for stocks, there are specific things that I'm looking at. it doesn't mean that you have TATs, then you just scan and you trade every stocks, because they are like 10 plus thousands, or if you look at the different markets, there are like tons and tons of stocks. But there are specific patterns or specific phenomena that I'm looking at. So this is what I'm trying to cover here. Of course, that towards the end, I will let you know how you can get TAT. It's a payable product, but it comes with a cost, and it comes with a 1 year support. So I think that for those who do not fear that you don't know how to use, that the 1 year support program that we have, which is the hand holding, will be really very important. Now, give all of you a bit of introduction about myself. Just to give me a bit of response, how many of you have already attended the Top Pro lessons? That means that you have already received TAT. Just if you have, maybe you just type like 1. That means you already have attended Top Pro. You know about how to use TAT. Because I do have another session running concurrently with another of my trainers. Some of them are actually elsewhere, joining another session. Some of you are here. So I'd like to know whether you guys are totally new to TAT, totally new to us. If you're totally new to us, maybe you can just write new, so that I know that the pace that I should be going. Okay. So while I'm waiting for your answer, your response in the chat, let me just do a little bit of an introduction of myself. So I trade almost all the instruments, meaning that whether it's FX, stocks, indices, crypto, yes, I do all of them. So do I have specialization? I only specialize in things that can move, meaning that anything that is what I call as a low-hanging fruits, that would be something that I'm interested in. So I don't trade all the pairs, or I don't glue myself, and I rely a lot on signals, a lot on scanning, a lot on automations. Okay, so that is something which I'm doing at this moment. Now, if you are doing Singapore stocks and you have followed me with Singapore Exchange, then I'm also an SGX Academy trainer, where I'm there to share about intermarkets, derivative stocks, etc. Now, how do I do so many things, right? And it has to do with automations. In fact, that later on at 10:30, we'll be looking at the US market, and about 12, I'll be sleeping, and I wake up at about 6:20, because that's when my children needs to go to school. I have to prepare them for school, and my day is actually quite long if you look at that. But this is what I love, so I don't really feel tired. I've been trading for about maybe 20 plus years already. Just to let you know, if you do want to follow me, then you can scan this Telegram, and that would be the better methods, because in the Telegram, that's where I post my analysis. Like today, I just posted on the Hong Kong stocks 981, which is the semicon SMIC, and today SMIC went up by, I think, about 5 plus or 8%. So yesterday I wrote the analysis, and it has to clear compliance, and this morning was published. And I just posted an article on Tesla, talking about the implication of the vote, right? To pay Elon Musk the 1 trillion package, and then what is happening to the Tesla stock price at this moment. So if you can scan this QR code to follow me in Telegram, because everything will be actually posted there. Just as introduction, I know that a lot of you guys, I've seen responses that you are new. Thanks for joining. I hope that by attending this session, you can get to know and understand a little bit more, right, about how scanning or screening for stocks, can help you in terms of your analysis, or even for your search of profitable trades. But again, as a disclaimer, this is my sharing. It doesn't guarantee that you will definitely make money. Okay, so because I have been training for a long time, even when I share about what I'm doing, but my students, my community, sometimes they don't follow. they are profitable trades, but then they just choose not to follow. Yeah, right? Okay, I run 2 courses, and that's TOR Plus and TOR Pro. Today, I'm going to cover TAT, and TAT is actually offered in TOR Pro. So I will talk about TOR Pro. And what I'm proud of is the 7 coaching webinars a week between the 2 courses, and for a duration of a year. Okay, so it's not only about taking the course or receiving the indicators, it's also about providing you that guidance, looking at the market live and explaining how we used the signals, we look at the market and how to interpret the market, etc. Okay, now I know that I should be starting very soon, but just to give you a bit of a summary, TOR Pro is the course, and what you get is the TAT strategy. Today I'll be covering the TAT indicator. All right, and of course I especially run a Wednesday session in the afternoon covering the TAT strategy and the use of TAT indicator, 1 year and 1 year of hand holding. All right, okay, so next, very quickly, why do you want to scan for stocks? Why do you want to scan for stocks? For example, you do have a watch list, and you could be looking at your watch list every day, right? But the thing is that sometimes you will just ask yourself, why I didn't get into this particular stocks? Why did I miss these stocks? And it's always like, I should have just known it. I should have just entered, and I'm just be making like a 20% in just a few days, etc., etc. So it's always this and oops, I should have done it. That I always feel that it's a pity. Okay, it's a pity to miss out a good trade. Okay, so if you look at my personality, I don't like to miss trades, and that's why I've designed systems and designed tools so to overcome my busy, the very busy schedule that I have, but yet I can still be able to take these trades. It doesn't mean that I'm able to take all the trades, because then the only one reason is there's limited money, but at least that I have an opportunity to know them. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, and also because when you scan, you do have unbiased, opinion of all your trades. All right, so that's really very important. Now, of course, that you don't have time to look at all your signals or all your charts, right? So scanning does help to pinpoint or to reduce the number of stocks that you have. And the last thing, which I find it's very, very important for myself, is you exert control. Okay, when I say control, it also means that do you have an urge that you like to chase after a price whenever something moves? Do you find that when you chase after something and you always regret it? That means that when you chase, let's say, for example, the stock has already moved up by about 10-20%, then when you chase it, after that, you would just move down. Have you had this experience before? Let me know. What do you think? Have you had this experience before? Okay, so when I say control, it means that because when you scan, right, that means that you are able to find the signal at the point that it happened. Okay, it prevents that scanning, it prevents that chasing. But not only that, when you have control, it means that you can slowly plan for what you would like to do. Okay, so these are the few reasons, right, why I like to scan. Okay, and I don't really like to, if you ask my community, I'm a little bit of a private person, because I believe that my performance is not your performance, but I do help to manage some of my family members' account. Okay, and if you look at that, right, so this is the year-to-date performance. These are just a few accounts I manage, and I'm just giving you the average. Average means that they are accounts which are really, really very profitable. Return year to date is about 100+%, but there are some that are not that profitable because it's not that a bit of a aggressive strategy. So this is just a moderate return that we have, right? In a year-to-date performance. Okay, so all these stocks, all these trades that was being done, they are all done via using TAT. Okay, no other method, all done via using TAT, and they are done in a combinations of owning the stocks and owning trading into the options. Okay, so a lot of people that doesn't know that I actually trade options, right? They thought I'm very much FX guy, FX girl, FX person. Okay, but yes, we do just purely on TAT. Okay, just purely on TAT, meaning that just purely on the things that we screen, and we don't choose a universe of stocks. That means that even though I offered my watch list, which is about 1,000 stocks, but the core stocks that we are trading or I am managing, I'm trading for them, it's about less than 50. Okay, that means that out of those, I only keep like a 50, and then I will keep managing them and keep doing them. And they are usually the more liquid stocks or the stocks that are fundamentally very strong. Okay, yes, do I look at the fundamentals? Yes, I do. Very simple way of looking at fundamentals, but it's usually via the patterns or the price behavior that I look at the fundamentals. Okay, but as a disclaimer, again, the past performance or whatever that the performance that I have here is not an indication of your performance. Okay, I mean, I've tried that many times. Like, later on I'll be showing you some of the stocks that I've talked about, and with TAT we scan. Then I talk about it, and I ask the community, have you entered? Actually, some of them never, or maybe they just doesn't want to tell me. Okay, but this is the reason of scanning, because when I scan, usually looking at the trades, that means that the trades that I need to do a day, right? It doesn't spend a lot of time, so probably it takes about 10 minutes for me to browse through the whole list. Later, I'll show you the list that I have, right? Received today just now. It's about 10 to 15 minutes in terms of the process, and because the signals are being drawn already on the chart, later you see that, right? So you can easily differentiate whether you should take the trade or not take the trade. Okay, that means that it's save a lot of time. All right, so this is the reason why I like to do that, and I like automations, and this is only just part of the trading. These are all on stocks, just to let you know. All these that you see are part of the portfolio that I'm managing, and they are only on stocks. I mean, I'm not talking about those FX or indices that I'm trading in the afternoon or in the morning. Okay, again, that this is a real account. This is real money. Okay, and the past performance, whatever that you see here, will not be indication of your performance. Okay. All right, now this would be the email notifications that I received every day. If you ask my students or whoever who had this, right, they would receive the same thing. Okay, so for example, that was just about 2 hours ago. Not 2 hours, because I did the slides. I put in this one about, I think, 7 o'clock. So 2 hours ago, that means it's about 5:26 that UOB Kay Hian, this signal was being sent. So that's about 5:26. So Singapore market will close at 5. Then, TradingView would process that, and that got to me about 5:26. Okay. And the Hong Kong market closed at 4. That's why you see that it was being sent like 4:16. Okay. All right. So let me just quickly go to UOB Kay Hian. I know that this is not a hot stocks, but I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, now let me know that you can see my charts, okay, which is the chart here. So the bottom left here that you see here, right? So this is the one, would be the alert that's being sent to me for my FX trade. Okay, so this is what I mean by alert, and these are also being scanned. Scan means that they display the signal and they're being sent to me. Okay, they're also being sent to the email as well. Okay, And this is a 1 hour signal, meaning that every hour you will send, because I'm also trading FX, okay? Now, in this screen here, that's where we monitor the different time frame, like 1 hour, 4 hour or a day, right? On the different signals that will appear. Okay, so we know that one glance out of the 25 symbols that I'm monitoring, for example, these are the more recent trades that pop up, so that if I'm doing a intraday trading or a live trading, then I don't miss all this. Okay, so that is this part here. It's like built in as part of TAT. Okay, so this is actually offered part of TAT. Okay, now the UOB Khen, let me just go to UOB Khen and show you what I mean by let me just get the chart. Here we go. Okay, so what I mean by signals, in fact, that the students doesn't have this version, because this version shows all the historical signals. Okay, I think that this is the first time that they're seeing it. So this would be the signals that happened today. Okay, so this is a L bull signal. You just have to recognize that it's green in color, so it is bullish signal. All right, and I rely very much on this signal here. So let me just explain a little bit about how and what TAT is measuring. Okay, so it goes like this, right? Whenever a price, okay, let me just explain that. Okay, you just focus this one here. So whenever a price goes up, what you will do is that you observe that you always come down a little bit, and then when it goes up, it will always come down a little bit. Okay, when it goes up, it will come down a little bit. Now this is a typical behavior of an uptrend. Okay, so this is uptrend. Right, how do I know that this is uptrend? That's because we have price making a higher high, a high versus the previous high. All right, and we have price making a higher low versus a previous low. Now, if you look at and Google this concept, it is, a common concept. All right, so it is a common concept, and it's not difficult to understand. Okay, now what happened would be everybody's wish, right? Is that everybody would want to be buying around here. Am I right to say that? That means you do want to buy around here, or you want to buy around here, so that you catch the lowest point. All right, I wouldn't say the lowest, but the optimal point before it moved higher. Okay, that means that you don't want to be stuck here. You don't want to be stuck here. You don't want to be stuck here, right? All these are things that you do not want. However, what you want is that you want to buy slightly when it goes up, so that the moment that you get in, you will just like that. Okay, so that it's everybody's dream. Okay, so this is what TAT is all about. So what TAT is trying to do is that it's trying to analyze into this whole price behavior here as a relation of the entire trend, and it's trying to catch that turning point before, just slightly after it bursts up. Okay, so hopefully that before it bursts up, we can catch it, and then it can be a very smooth sailing ride. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is what TAT is trying to do. Now let's take a look at, I don't want to take a look at the current one just to show you this is the current, but just to go into the line chart to show you the past historical signals. Okay, so this signals doesn't repaint. When it's here, it will be here, right? So these are the past historical signal, right? You do find that if it follows a pattern, so the pattern goes like that. If price has been going up, what it does, the buy signal, which is just focused on the green color and the arrow, right? Just the green color, right? What happens on its way down, just slightly, when it goes up, it doesn't get you the lowest point, okay? When it just goes up a little bit, and that's where the signal will happen, okay? So these are the signal here and around here, signal here, around here, signal here, around here, okay? All right? And then when it goes up, okay, so what it does is that it will study all right, the whole movement here. Okay, so this is the place that you will, let me just change the color. So this is the place that you will, oops. Okay, so this is the place that you will study, all right, and you will study the whole thing here, okay, and you will study this one here. It was okay, I should study quite a lot, right? And you will try to analyze and to pinpoint that this is the place that we should be actually having a bullish signal for us. That means that certain things had changed, right? It stopped heading down and it's on its way going up. Okay, so it follows this pattern here. It goes up, it comes down. We look for a buy signal here. It goes up, it comes down. We look for a buy signal here. It goes up, it comes down, and that's where we had a buy signal here again. Okay, now I'm just going to pause here. All right, and then let you ask question if you have. All right. Okay, so let me know if you do have any questions that you can ask me. All right, so how do I actually get this, right? So it's a very, very simple process, because once you receive TAT, that means that you just have to load it inside your inside your trading view. So once you receive it, right, you just have to load it. And how to load it? It's actually very simple, because it's available in an invite script. So once we activate that, you will get inside here, and it's automatically inside the invite only place. You just have to add it, pressed and add it. Okay, that's done already. It's a very easy, no complicated loading process or no installation, because TradingView itself is also available in web based. Okay, of course you can have an installed version. Just like for Mac, you just have to install that from I believe that Apple Store. I think so. I can't remember where I why I install that. Okay, so this is how you do that, right? So what you have to do is just press here and then go to invite only. And once we activate for you, it will automatically appear here. You just have to click that and that's it. Okay, all right. So it happens like that, right? And then itself, it has two scanning function. Okay, two scanning function, right? Because we know that, or I know that you might not want to subscribe for TradingView Premium Plan. Okay, so what I did was I built in this inbuilt scanner here, such that even when you have a free plan, okay, free TradingView plan, then you can get up to 50 symbols. Okay, so there is a restriction here. The restriction doesn't come from me. It came from TradingView. Okay, so all the time frame you can use. You don't only scan in the day or the week. Okay, all the time frame you can use. However, all right, the restriction comes from your TradingView plan, because TradingView has a few. There's a basic plan that's free, and there is a paid plan, and there are various paid plan, right? And as you pay more, you get more feature and more functions. Okay, so let me just talk about how to set this one up. All right, so let me just go to here, right? So this is the inbuilt scanner. Okay, so how to set that? So very easy. What you do is that when you scroll down, you realize that you can key in all the symbols here, right? That you want. All together, there are 25. Okay, and the free TradingView version allows you to maintain two tabs, two chart tabs. Okay, this is one tab, this is another tab, right? So each tab you can have 25. So when you have two chart tab on the free TradingView, you do have the 50 symbols here. Okay, so what you do is that whatever you want, you just have to key in the symbols here. So for example, if I want to monitor into Tesla, okay, as I said, right, I cover stocks for today, right? You just have to key in Tesla, and immediately Tesla is being monitored. All right, so if I click OK, you see Tesla is up here already. It's being monitored on the H1 time frame. Okay, of course, if you want to monitor Tesla on the day or Tesla on the M5, this is not an issue. You can do that. Okay, but again, that your limitation comes from the plan that you paid for TradingView. But again, that the commitment to my community is that we are going to build a Discord, a Telegram version, so that even without the higher tier trading view, you are able to receive the alerts. Okay, so this is a continuous support to the community. All right. Okay, so that's how you receive the first, because I didn't click OK, that's why Tesla disappeared. So this is the first thing that you can scan, and you can monitor which one appear. Like for example, if you look at this is BTC, right? BTC 1 hour, there was a L bear. So the L bear happens here. Okay, so that's BTC here, right? That's the L bear. Okay, and then we have BTC, which was a bull signal here. So that's a bull signal here. So it happens here. All right, and then we do code in that, the target profit of that bullish signal. Okay, so this is suitable for short-term trader who are, doing a little bit of a scalping, and you can go all the way to 5 minutes. That means that if I were to, let's say, run a BTC and then do that, just do this one here. So if I run the BTC here, and then if I want to do it on a 5 minutes, I can do that as well, because we do have 5 minutes signal also. Okay, so for example, this was the 5 minute signal that happened at here. Okay, it just happened like 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. And this was the sell signal that happened, previously. All right, so the sell and the buy signal. Okay, but again, that I find that the signals, are very, very useful because it helps to make decision faster. But I also like you to know why and how the signals are being created. That's why instead of just giving you the signals, I built in all these lines. Okay, because we do use all these lines as well. Okay, Mervin, I won't be actually talking about the the different functions here, right? I'll just talk about the scanning function today. Okay, all right. So that SL etc. would be we talk about in the lesson. Okay. Now then, let me just go through in terms of the scanning function. All right, what can be done for you to do that? So that's the first way, right? So the first way is to build this one here. Now the second way is for you to use your watch list. Okay, so you look at that. I have a 1,000 stock watch list here. So these are my 1,000 stocks watch list. Okay, and so what I can do is that I can set the TAT, right, to scan all the 1,000 watch lists. Okay, and as I said, right, your watch list is being restricted by TradingView. So TradingView has few plans. The premium plans can only scan 2 watch lists, but when you have a much higher plan than the premium plan, you can actually scan, I think, 10 or 8 watch lists, right? And each watch list can hold 1,000 symbols. Now, essentially, if you have the higher plan, and then it also means that you can scan, 10 watch lists times 1,000, and that's a 10,000 stocks. You probably don't want to scan 10,000 stocks because that would be too many for you to manage. So 1,000 watch lists that I monitor for Singapore. So these are the Singapore stocks, right? And then these would be the Hong Kong stocks. Okay, here we go. So these are the Hong Kong stocks with Jitli, Night 1, Mate 1, etc. And underneath here would be the US stocks that I am scanning as well. Okay, so and what you do is that you just have to run TAT, right, on these watch lists. That means that you just have to key in one button, which of course will teach you how to do that. Just one button, we put it in here, and it will keep scanning automatically. That means that once scan every day, right, when the market closed, about 15 minutes later after the market closed, if you just put in a day signal, right, then it will send it to you. But if let's say if yours is a 1 hour signal, that means as a close of 1 hour, then you will scan and then they will just send it to you. Okay, so the whole idea is that for me, our inbuilt scanner here will monitor for the intraday activity, whereas the trading view scanner here would monitor the stocks activity. That means that I would be able to scan 1,000 stocks, and then I know exactly what happened. And this is how I was able to get, for example, UOB Keihan today, and to point to you that we had UOB Keihan. Okay, at least like I said, right, you are notified. Okay, so what I also like to share, for example, this was one of a bit of a stocks that I didn't know myself until that the scanner point out, and then I realized that, hey, look, there's this stocks that is involved in data center. Okay, so I mean, have you heard of CSE? Myself, I've been in the market, but I usually trade a lot of mostly blue chips and a lot of stocks that is in STI. So I don't usually do all this small cap, but it's one of the next 50. Okay, you saw that it has this elbow here, right? Do you see that? Okay, all right. So far, any question? Okay, now, so this was the elbow that's being scanned out. So because we scanned that, we are able to receive the alert. So our entry price was about 73, 74. And today is actually trading at 84. All right. Now, there are a few things I want to talk about. Okay, we don't really go for all the trades, but one of the thing that I liked about looking for that particular signal, right, is I want to look for stocks that moved out of a base. Okay, so this is a base here. Okay, now, so this base shows that the stocks is quite energetic, meaning that it has broken out of a base. So I like to look for stocks that move out of a strong consolidation, and this is really the strength of TAT, meaning that TAT, right, is not only able to scan for stocks, but it's scan for a price movement after price had been consolidating for a while. So this is what I mean by consolidation. Price goes up, it goes consolidation, right? So the strength of TAT is that it's able to find the tipping point before it goes up, right, at the end of this consolidation. Okay, so let me explain this from CSE point of view, right? You find that CSE was going up higher and higher, right? And then during this duration here, what you see was that price was going down. Okay, it's correcting. So in a behavior, a lot of people would want to chase price, meaning that they say, oh yeah, this one has been going higher. I didn't manage to buy. So, and I didn't buy, and I tried to chase it, and I couldn't chase it by queuing lower. So what a lot of people will do is that at the one moment, they decided, okay, I should stop queuing. Let me just buy it. Okay, because they can't stand that temptation anymore. Let me just buy it, right? Now, when they bought in, that's the problem. The stock starts to correct. Okay? Now, when it starts to correct, then what happened? They panic. And then, when they panic, they might be cutting the losses, or they might cut the losses at a lousy price. Okay? Now, when this happens, you're going to find yourself selling a good stock or stock that have a lot of potential at a lousy price. So what happened is that rather than to just chase after price, okay, now TAT will help you monitor as it goes down, calculate this whole price behavior, and come up with a signal. Okay, and this signal, once it's being generated, will be sent via TradingView to you. And this is how I receive the signal. Okay, so this is one of my holdings. Now L bull is just a name that we put it, but basically it's just a bullish signal. Of course, they are significant because they are as bear, they are L bull, right? So once you attend the course, once you get TAT, you understand what they mean. So for now, you just have to focus that, okay, green and the arrow points up is a bullish signal. Red and the arrows point down, it's a bearish signal, but bearish signal doesn't necessarily asking you to sell or saying that you will drop a lot. It can be where it's being used as a profit take after we have already gone long. Okay, now this is one thing that this is very important. But if you see all these lines here, okay, so these lines are really very important lines because these lines are specially calculated, specially derived, okay, such that they are very, very attractive, or rather very, very important support or resistance level. I just want to show you what happened to STI. In fact, that if you have been to my Telegram yesterday, I posted, okay, STI, the STI was at this support level. So I just do a little bit of a rollback to let you see, okay? All right. Now you see this level here, okay? This level is what we call a predictive level. That means that TAT, right, is able to predict that it is likely going to get supported here. Okay, so there are various predictions. Sometimes we have only one prediction, sometimes we have many. Okay, so it's telling you that at this point here, the optimal point for price to move down, and it's into this region here. Okay, so this is what we are able to predict at this moment. Okay, so if you look at the price behavior, you see that STI hit that level very nicely and then bounce up. And right now it's predicting that after the bounce up, this could be a possible target profit. Okay, a TP area, which is a target profit for STI. So it's not only going to give you the signal, but it is also going to give you the levels. Okay, so that's how we use that to trade. So let me just show you again. All right, a few trades that was being done. Anybody traded Amazon recently? I mean, Amazon was very much covered in my community. All right. The reason why I covered Amazon was also because of this pattern here, which is called a cup and a possible handle. Okay, now as I said, right, what I like to do is that I don't like to apply TAT signals everywhere. Okay, because they are signals where it came from, where it's a downtrend. So TAT can also point to this type. But for me, what I like is I like to look for TAT, right, where it is after a base. So this is what I call a base. Okay, all right. Now this base, after it happened, then I'll be looking for TAT here, which was a TAT signal. So we had a sell signal in Amazon, and then we had a buy signal, which I highlighted to the community, all right, before it gapped up on its earnings. Okay. The nice part about this is that we are also able to predict the profit targets. Okay, so the profit target will appear later on as it continues to move higher. But this was the buy signal that we received. Now you see the common characteristic is that what we do is that we always let price go up, and we always let it come back down, and then this is the tipping point. Okay, we always look for that tipping point, right? So we don't buy here, we don't buy here, we don't buy here. We buy at a tipping point before it explodes upwards. Okay, so that was the Amazon that also recently happened, and which I highlighted to the community. Okay, anybody in the community did Amazon? Or I mentioned already, you're like, again, forget or ignore, because Amazon was something that I talked about maybe two or three sessions. I kept talking about Amazon. Nobody? Okay, I'm waiting for responses from you guys. Okay, so I just show you a little bit more on again that what we are looking at. Anybody trading Nvidia? Okay, Nvidia also having the same characteristic. Okay, so you see, we are going through the same pattern. All right, there was a signal here, just to let you know, right? Because we only display the latest signal. Let me just roll back a little bit. Doesn't mean that we don't have a signal in Nvidia. All right. Okay, we do have a signal in Nvidia here. So that was the Nvidia signal. I don't like, sorry to say that, but the questions on the success rate is something which I will answer later. It doesn't have a lot of success rate. It's not that it doesn't have a lot of success rate. My own success rate from my account is about 78%. Okay, but that's also because, right, you have to understand, I choose specifically only stocks which has a certain set of patterns. Okay, and I am I'm a person who follow the rules. That means that when you don't follow the rules, I don't like. Okay, all right. And if you ask the community, there are so many stocks that I mentioned. Not everyone will enter. For example, Amazon was something that I mentioned to a community of 100 plus 200 people, right? But then, only Chai Sing and only Ray said that they enter. Okay, so this success rate at the end of the day, right, it's really, really dependent on you yourself. Okay, so we can have a success rate of 70%, but if you take a look at how much it can move, okay, and that is really very important. All right, so for example, Nvidia had a signal here, and you see that from here it just keep moving higher and higher and higher. All right, I hope that I can just do this a little bit faster. Okay, like that. So you can look at a success rate having a 50%. All right, but the rate of return, that means that the reward versus the risk is so much higher. Okay, Chai Sing talk about Kappa. I can talk about Kappa. I'm still in Kappa, but I logged in some profit when it went to 10, 20 around there, because our entry was about $8, right? Yeah, I thought that, it's good to log in some. Of course, then it went up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so the rate of return, okay, it's much, much higher. Okay, so you can have a 50 and a 50, but every time when you lose one. Okay, every time when you make two, right? Net, this is 100 plus 100, this is minus 50. Okay, so that is really very important. So I'm not talking about success rate here. I'm talking about that you need to have all this scanner, how it can free you from doing many different things, and at the same time from not missing a trade. All right, so let me just talk about the latest. Let me just talk about the latest signal here. Okay, so this was the latest signal here. All right, now before I moved on, I realized I've been talking about 45 minutes already. I just want to know whether you have any questions. Okay, all right, so this was the latest bullish signal in Nvidia. You see that? Okay, all right. So what happened to Nvidia was that it went through a period of consolidation. See, so it went into a very nice, price movement after our entry here. Okay, so that was our entry here, right? And then it goes down like that. It went into consolidation. Okay, but our signal point to at that point before, it just surged up again. All right, and it has this retracement. It get into the support level, and then it surge up again. Okay, so you see this TP that's being locked in here. Okay, so this was the predicted TP that we have. Okay, predicted TP. of this bullish signal here. And after that, it starts with S bear, okay, which is S bear, okay, which is a small bear, right? So that's not a very long bear, okay. So again, that what I like you to know, you can have your own method, you can have whatever method, right? But when you are able to scan, it makes a whole load of a difference, okay, because you're able to find the signal. Now, the other stocks that I highlighted was TSM, and which was also the same pattern, okay. So we have the whole chunk of a lines here, and of course that TSM around here, right, there was a signal. So our signals pinpoint to the lowest point here, and after that, see what happened. Let me just roll it faster. Okay, so it's one straight line and it keep going, and that was the TP that's being predicted here. So it hit that TP, all right, it hovered for a while. I think it went too fast, okay. Then, let me just select here, right. So after it hit the TP, let me just get you that TP level here. Oh, yeah, okay. So that was the TP level, all right. So hit around that TP level. Note that this TP is just a reference, okay, because it's just around here. So from about 162, our predicted TP was about 250. So it's around this level, all right, okay. It just means that a little bit, and it starts consolidating. Okay, you see that? It starts consolidating. So the question is that you can be trapped inside this consolidation. That means that, do you want to be trapped inside this consolidation? You don't want, okay? You don't want to be trapped inside this consolidation, because that's where you feel that, oh yeah, I get in, my other stocks are moving, and then I'm trapped inside here. So it doesn't matter, because this is still an uptrend, okay? And it broke a new high. So this is very important. As I said, right? What I like to do is I like to go for stocks that build a base, and then I like to look for signals that get near to the top of the base. Okay, so this works very well. So basically, this one here, I was aiming. Okay, it's into my watch list, but in this whole duration, it's like from July all the way until August, and it's still consolidating. It gets very impatient, because there's simply so many things, so many stocks to look at. If you get your money trapped here, it's not a very good deal, right? So you get your scanning on activated here, and then you just have to wait for the signals to appear. So the signals actually appear here. Let me just roll back a little bit to do it slowly. Okay, so the whole idea is you just want to wait for that signal to appear. Okay, so you see that signal appear here, and that's where it tells you that it is the end of this consolidation. Okay, and the rest would be to manage your risk and to plan how you want to enter. But without the scanning, you might not be able to find these stocks here. That means that you probably have 100, 200, 1,000. Then where do you have time to go and find them? You really want the AI, you really want a platform to go and scan all this for you, so that you can pinpoint and say, hey, look, this will be a signal here, and I'm going to be looking at this to buy. Okay, so the whole thing, and you see the patterns kept repeating itself. It goes like that. Only when it's down, then we have the buy signal, and it goes up. Only when it's down, then we have the buy signal, and we just have to wait for the trade to pan out. Okay, all right, so this is how it goes, and our predicted TP is actually here. Okay, now, so if let's say, for example, you do not want to use TradingView screening because you don't want to pay for the more expensive plan, all right, then what I will also encourage the student to do is that they build their own watch list, and then they can browse through the different stocks. For example, this would be my US watch list, for example, right? And then I will just browse through, like Amazon. Oh yeah, there was a signal here. Tesla, a signal here. And then we have Apple, a signal here. And then we have Google, another signal here. and then we have Nvidia here, and then we have Microsoft here, and then we have Meta. Okay, so let's talk about Meta. Meta was a stocks that I never really talk about because we don't have the signal yet. Okay, what we had in terms of signal was that Meta was a resistance level, and after that it's actually moved down. Okay, now so what we had for Meta is that there is no signal, but as I said, right, these are very important lines. Okay, so these are important levels, important lines. All right, and these are predictive lines. That means that when Meta was here, okay, that means the Meta was here, we are able to know this is the key level of Meta. Okay, now if you do not know what I'm talking about, is that all these levels are very useful for certain tools, especially when you are trading options. Okay, I won't further elaborate on all this. Okay, but these are advanced predictive levels that we are able to predict when Meta was here. That means if it should drop, then this would be the key level here. Okay, so let me just roll to let you see. You see, it's hovering at this moment. All right. And then, moving up and down in this very important level. Okay. Now, for those who are interested in, higher time frame, interested in buying a stocks for at a very attractive price, okay, then we do have, where you can switch to even a higher time frame, and to say that if Meta, it's going to come down further, then this would be the next best level to look at Meta. Okay, so this is what we are able to do. Okay, that means to predict all this price behavior here. Now you ask me whether it is accurate or not. Students will tell you that there will be a lot of reactions at these levels. Okay, and then these levels are something where it's zigzag. Today I just learned about this word called zigzag. So they say it's zun. That's why, yeah. So anyway, this is not the focus of what I'm going to talk about today. What I'm just going to say is that if you do have a stock list like this, like what I have, right? So rather than to plot or just draw your own signal, what I like is to click the button, okay, and to already know what are the key levels I need to look out for. Okay, for example, like Alibaba previously had a buy signal here, and then had a sell signal here, and it moved down, it hit that zone of resistance, and actually coming down, and this would be that key level you want to monitor for Baba. Okay, so this is that very attractive level here, because all these are all predicted. And I think one of the hot stocks, right, was this one here. This was AMD. A lot of people didn't know that we had a buy signal for AMD here and a TP here. So on this buy signal, our TP was being predicted here. Okay, so that's 259.39, hit very nicely, hover around here. Now, why was this a bullish signal? As I said, right, we will be monitor from this consolidation here. So it will tell us that the consolidation had ended, and then this will be the bullish signal for us to look for a buy. Okay. All right, let's see what's the question here. When there's an S bear before the TP, what's the action, sell or hold? The S bear, right, it's just a indication that there are traces of small bear coming in. Okay, now it is a warning signal for us to monitor a little bit more. Okay, so it is not a large bear, it's just a small one. All right, so if the small bear comes in, as long as it doesn't break all the support level, we are still looking at TP. Okay, we are still looking at price heading to TP. All right, yeah. Okay, any questions? Today, Datadog just announced its earnings. You can see that this was the bullish signal for Datadog, and this was a predicted TP. All right, But before that, okay, you see Datadog had a elbow here. Okay, you see that? So it's the same pattern, right? It had this based, and it had this little bit of a correction, and it had this elbow there, elbow here, and now because of earnings, it gapped up. It's now trading at 185. Okay, our predicted TP is 199. It's now doing 185 already. Okay, so all this I brought up. Okay, and then all these are being scanned and found using TAT. All right. Okay. Any questions that you would like to know more? So end of the day, right, you are able to do your own scanner, meaning that you can use TradingView inbuilt scanner here. So these are TradingView inbuilt scanner. You can find whether price is above certain moving averages or certain things. No problem, you can find them. Okay. Or you can use our custom built scanner. So this is a custom built scanner that we can apply and then scan it, and at the same time there will be signals and there will be lines that's being drawn here. Okay, any questions before I move on to the next one? Okay, let me just take a look at Kappa. I think that Chai-Sing is still holding. This is Kappa. So Kappa, we had a bullish signal here, but what was the most important in Kappa, all right, so as I said, this is a small bear, right? Okay, small bear is just an indication that there might be a little bit of a profit taking, etc. It's not, our target profit is 1145, predicted 1145 here. Okay. Wow, it's the same thing, right? We had a optimal bull here. There's a bullish signal here, and I brought this up. So it goes in the same pattern, that Kappa has this base, and then it was in the consolidation. You definitely don't want to buy here. Your best wish is to bought in here, and it goes zoom, like that. All right. So that is very, very important. All right. It's all about timing. Okay. And it does affect your mood, because if you get in on a lousy entry and you start to see that, let's say for example, you get in here, okay, either you don't watch it, but let's say you get in at average of 680, then you saw that it dropped to 550. What would you do? Would you hold on, or would you be scared and then you say, oh yeah, it's not very good, let me just sell it? You get what I'm trying to say here? Okay. So this is why having a scanner and having something to track that optimal entry is very, very important. Okay. All right. Okay. Alphabet Google. Google is also something that I own in my portfolio. It's also something that was being scanned. Okay. We do have that scanning, the alert here. Okay, and yes, Google, I highlighted to my community when it was here. That means the moment that before even happened, I already highlighted to the community. So same thing, right? It's not about the success rate. It's about that, okay, you have these stocks, you don't miss the opportunity, you enter already, and then the reward is usually so much higher, so much further than your potential risk. Okay, so this is the key characteristic here. Don't miss a trade. You can have your own list of stocks. You don't need to use my watch list. My watch list is just a reference. Okay, and I do refresh my watch list every week. In fact, sometimes every day, to add in those which I think as fundamentally strong stocks and remove those which are not fundamentally strong. Okay, but you can use your own watch list and apply that to what you want to scan. But I want to actually let you know, in order to scan using the watch list by TradingView, you need the higher plan. Okay, that means if you have the basic or the lower tier plan, you can't scan using the watch list. You have to use our own scanner here, and that would limit to 50 symbols if yours is a free basic version of TradingView. Now, if yours is not a free basic version, yours is essential version, etc., then yes, you do get more symbols. All right. But if you do want to use the watch list, then you will have to have the premium plan. All right. Okay. All right. So if you don't want to have the premium plan, you don't want it to scan for you, then what I recommend is that you have your own watch list here like this. Okay, and then you just scroll down every time and whenever it produces a signal, and that's it. Yeah. Okay. I think the question could be, which plan of TV do you need? Okay, which plan? So if you are if you want to scan for for your watch list, you need minimum the premium plan. Okay, you can use our own scanner here. All right, so this one you can have the basic plan, but as I mentioned, the basic plans only allows you 50 symbols. Okay, only 50 symbols. But if you have the essential plans or slightly the higher plans, then you can get a lot more symbols. That means that you don't need to be restricted to just the 50 symbols only. Okay. All right. Okay. Now let me just continue on with what I have here. All right. So that is what I'm talking about. You need to have a basic TV plan. Okay, meaning that this is a free one. So this free one, you can use our own scanner. Is restrict that to 50 symbols. All right. Now, if you have a premium TradingView plan, then you can scan for your watch list. Okay, 2 watch lists. Now, TradingView also have a much higher plan. Then you can scan for more watch lists. All right. Okay. So again, that what I always do is for stocks, I only scan for the bullish buyers, because stocks, right, essentially is bullish buyers. Okay, I scan them as part of the pattern. All right, I showcased to you already. I need to see a base, and really I'll look for this part here, which is a continuation of that base, and it generally can give very, very fantastic results. All right, and okay, so that's the new AI, and I come to the end of my presentation. Just give me around like 5 minutes where I talk about the cost. If you like to join us, then we do have courses here. So there will be 7 sessions a week of hand holding, okay, with a duration of 1 year. When you take the course, there are 2 things that will be covered. Number 1, there will be a strategy. Number 2, there will be an indicators that's given to you. So if you take, let's say, for example, TOR Pro course is the one that comes with TAT. So TAT is what I've highlighted. It comes with the strategy. It comes with 12 months hand holding. Okay, so this is the hand holding where we talk about all the different trades. So for example, Kappa was something I talked about. CSE was talked about recently. Amazon, Google, Nvidia, whatever I mentioned a lot, including when Tesla was 170, I already talked about that. Okay, and you have a 12 months TAT. All right, 12 months TAT, right? Now, if you were here last week, I think last week or in October, the due was another 3 more months for you. And I already said, if you come here this round, it will only be 12 months. Now, if you were in our presentation in September, there was extra 6 months. Now we are only giving out 12 months, and that's it, full stop, no more. Okay. Now, if you should pay via a pay now or bank transfer, then we will add in 1 more month of TAT for you. All right. So this is what we are offering right now. Now, if you come back next month, which is in December, I don't think that we're going to run any promotion at all. And if you are coming back to us in 2026, now this cost fee will guarantee go up at least by 50 to 80%. Okay, we already make the announcement already. Okay, we just haven't finalized how much it's going to go up. Okay, and if you have been looking at what I'm talking about, then I'm keeping my words. All right, I don't like to retract that. So it's only 12 months, and we might also remove this 12 months by cutting down to either 6 or 9 months. Okay, so do take that whenever it's available. Now, we do have a cashback deal with a broker, which is called 8cap. Now, this cashback deal means that you do get the $1,500 SGD back as a cash, and they pay for your TradingView Essential plan. All right. And that is being reimbursed to you in your trading account. Now, this whole cashback deal is 1,709 SGD. Okay. Now, what it means is that you pay us the school fee of $1,500. By taking the cashback deal, they will put $1,709 into your trading account. However, it comes with terms and conditions. Okay. There is no free lunch here. Now, number one is that you need to use this link here to qualify. I repeat, you must use the link to qualify. All right. If you don't use the link, then you can't. Now, if you're existing 8cap customer, yes, you can qualify, but you have to write to them for permission. That means you have to get their approval that you qualify. Okay. Now, 8cap allows you to trade CFDs, stock CFDs, which is contract for difference. It's not stocks, but stock CFDs. Yes, you have US stocks, but you do not have Singapore stocks, and they do not offer Hong Kong stocks, just to let you know. But they can trade FX, indexes, or crypto, no issue. Okay, but you need to fund minimum 7,000 Sing dollar. You need to meet a requirement of 45 lots in 6 months. So these would be the terms and conditions. Now, the funding here, 7,000, it's your own capital. After you fund, you can trade it. That's your capital. But this volume requirement, you need to meet that in order for them to give you the cash back into your trading account. Okay. Now, you have to open an account before 30th of December. Anything, you can contact this person here, which is the account manager. All right. Now, just to highlight one thing, there is strictly no refund for our courses, because don't come back and say that, hey, look, I cannot get the cashback deal. Please refund the 1,500. You should be getting the course because it's useful to you. You like it. All right. And that this cashback deal is a bonus to you. Okay. So I want to be very clear here. That means that, do you need to get a cashback deal? No, this is a promotion. It is not necessary for you to get the cashback deal. However, should you want to trade, should you want to fund for account, should you be able to meet that 45 lots, then why not? Because then the broker can pay you $1,500 back to you. Okay. All right. Now, when is the course date? The course is online. That means that the material are available online whenever you make the payment. All right. However, we do have our support classes. Let me just get you the support classes here. So these are our support classes. Right now, if you look at this, Tor Pro is the course. So this is conducted by me. Okay. That is specially to address any issue that you have on TAT strategy. Okay. I will be there every Wednesday, 12:30 p.m. All right. And this, you have it for 12 months. Okay. So that's 12 months of Q&A support to you. Okay. Now, here is our hand holding. Now, hand holding means that we will be looking at the market, at what is happening. And this will be the time where I mention about stocks like Google or Nvidia or Kappa, etc. So these will be during the time, and it would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, different time, and these would be a duration of 12 months. Okay. Well, you have work, doesn't matter. It will be recorded. You can look at the recording. All right. And we do have a night session as well. Okay. All right. So there'll be recording immediately released that you can view it as and when you need to. All right. Okay. Any question? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send you few important links. If you want to register, please do it right now. All right. Don't wait for the due to expire. Because the longer that you wait, the deal gets worse and worse. And this would be the broker, where you get your broker to apply for the cashback due. Okay. So far, all my students have been using this broker. So since, they are offering this cashback due, may as well take it. All right. That means that, you see, I don't know whether you are able to hit the volume requirement. Okay. I don't know whether you want to fund 7,000, but get all this done so that in any case that you want to meet the volume requirement, in any case you want to fund 7,000, you can tap into it. Don't wait. All right. What is the difference between the TOR Pro course? TOR and Pro. No, the course is called TOR Pro course. That means that this is the course. There's no difference. This is TOR Pro course. All right. If you're asking me what is the difference between the TOR Pro course and the TOR Plus course, they cover different strategy. So this one doesn't have TAT inside. This one is wash and rinse. Okay, so this one has the TAT and only this one here, all right, covers trading view, covers scanning, covers screening, etc. Okay, now if you are very much into stock scanning, stocks trading, and you also want to do FX, you also want to do indices, then you have to take the TOR Pro. Okay, all right. So the Plus and the Pro are two different strategies. Okay, the Pro covers TAT strategy, the Plus covers wash and rinse strategy. No experience, take the TOR Pro. All right, because you have 12 months of hand holding to guide you for experience. So I cannot promise that you will sure be successful, but I'm giving you a low cost fee. I'm giving you a cashback deal. I'm giving you a 12 months hand holding. I'm giving you a complimentary 12 months indicator. You have 12 months. Okay. Yes, you join the Pro, you get the 12 months hand holding. So it's here. All right. What is the minimum to open the brokerage account? I think it's $100, 100 USD or 200 USD. So it's better that you log in first, and then let's say, for example, if you want to fund 7,000, you want to get a cashback deal, you can settle it later on. But it's better that you open an account, log in first, because there's a requirement, all right, that you open an account before a certain date. Because in order for them to give you the cashback deal, right, they need to see your receipt. So for example, if you take the course now, right, the receipt is dated now. 1 year later, you go and ask ACAP, hey, look, I want to have a cashback deal. You don't have already. All right, you don't have already because you have already expired. So if you can take the course now and you open an account, then you already locked that in, right? Okay, then you can take your time to go and get that volume requirement or make the funding. Okay, I can't say take your time. It's 6 months. At least you already have that in. So do go and get your account with ACAP so that you can have it in already. You don't need to make your funding. If you want, you can just fund $100 to lock it in. Okay. What's the difference between the TOR Pro and the TOR Plus? Now, they are different strategy. TOR Pro covers only TAT. TOR Plus covers wash and rinse. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's different. Like for example, one is medicine, the other one is lawyer, something like that. They are all courses, but they're just teaching you different things. So if you are looking to do stocks, that means that you want to do stocks, right? Then TOR Pro is the course to go because it comes with TAT, and TAT is in trading view, and with TAT, right, it gives you the ability to scan. Okay, all right, and it does let you trade into Forex, into indices, into crypto as well. Okay, so TAT, it's Top Pro, it's almost like everything is there. Okay, when the offers, I usually run it every month. So last month when you came, if you are here, then you get 3 months of extra TAT, right? So this is likely going to end by end of November. So offer expires November. All right. So that's why this cashback deal, you have opened an account by 30th of December. Okay. It's 1 month after the expiry. Okay. So it means that the earlier you get it, the earlier you learn, and the earlier you lock in that deal. Okay. And next month when you come, that means if ever we are running any session in December, right, then it would be a worse deal than whatever that you're seeing here. All right. Until 2026, we are going to up this price. Okay. Minimum by 50 to 80%. Okay. Yes, I can show that QR code. Just hang on for a while. In fact, I have it here. So that's the QR code. Okay. But in any case that you can always contact us. I do run few sessions just to train the community. If there's something that you can get out from here, right, is that remember, when it goes up, you wait for it to come down. When it goes up, you wait for it to come down. When it goes up, you wait for it to come down. Always wait for it to come down. Okay? All right? So this is the best way to do your trading. If there's something that you need to get out from here. Okay? All right. But scanning is something really very important to me because I find that it saves a lot of time. And at the same time, right, even if I'm so busy, if I can just take a look at, I just show you Doc, okay? Doc, right? Doc is now trading 181, for example. You don't want to get trapped here. You don't want to get trapped here. Don't want to get trapped here. You just want to get it in and then boom, off you go. You see, it's so shook. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right. Yeah. ACAP doesn't offer stocks. No, it doesn't. Okay. It offers CFDs. Okay. So for example, Tesla was one of our, community, one of the most tradable instrument of our community. Tesla on that day, right, when it had earnings, I just roll back a little bit. So this was that earning bar, right? Okay, this one here. Let me just roll back and show you what happened 1 hour. Okay, so this was the earning, right? 1 hour, we already had the levels here, 418. I was running a class, a session. And then, I think it was a 9 o'clock class. And so the students was all aiming at 418 because on that day, right, let me just don't roll too fast, okay? Just to show it to you because we do trade all this, right? So on that day, Tesla gapped down, right? Gapped down a little bit and then it hit the 418. Okay, just roll again, let you see, because we traded live here on this one also. So 418 was the level. That was a one hour level, right? And then below these are no other levels already, just empty. Okay, empty, no other level. So Tesla has to get supported here. And then before the earnings, Tesla was resisted here. Okay, let me just roll back again. You see, before the earnings, Tesla was resisted here, the red color line. So we were able to know and predict that, it hit our TP and then it goes like resisted there. Just let it roll for a while. It's about 10:30 already. I need to go. Okay, you see that? Okay, let me just go faster a little bit. And then you see that 418 here. Okay, so on that day, it hover, and then the earnings came, right? Pop, and then it gapped down. You see? Okay, before the earnings, after it gapped down, it's got nicely hit the 418. You see that? And then it rebounds. Yeah. Okay. Then you hit this level again. And that's how I was hovering here. Yeah. Okay. So all these lines are very important, even for us when we are trading that. Yes. Okay. Let me just flash the course. Of course, I hope that you take my course. I'm proud about it. But even if you don't, it's fine. But just don't abuse the cashback. Okay. Please don't abuse the cashback. We negotiate our deals, give up our affiliate fees and sponsor for this cashback as well. So you're serious in learning from a community. Don't abuse the goodwill. Again, that I don't know whether you should buy UOBKN or not. Okay, so I don't want to say anything about this one. All right, because I don't want to give any recommendations. But I can only let you know that these are being scanned. If I can see UOBKN, my community can see UOBKN. Okay. May I know is subscription renewal yearly for Pro? Yes. In order to use the indicator, because this one only use 12 months, right? Give you 12 months, right? For 1,500. So yes, if you want to use it again, you have to renew. And at this moment, we are charging $900 for the renewal. Okay. If you make money, then you renew. You don't make money, at least you have 12 months. And then you have the cashback deal to cover back. So that's the whole deal here. All right. Any other questions? No other questions? I'll end the session here. And don't wait too long to take it, because if you're back 2026, the price will be different. Okay, the price will not stay at 1,005. Okay, you are looking at least a 2,000 plus cost, and it will keep going up. All right. You can trade, what instrument can you trade at CAP? You can trade FX, you can trade indices, you can trade stock CFDs, not the stocks, but the stock CFDs like Tesla CFDs, Nvidia CFDs, I mean the Meta CFDs, etc. Okay, it's a contract for difference. And a lot of cryptos related, so you are able to trade a lot. Gold as well, gold, oil also. Renewal comes with hand holding or TAT only TAT only, TAT and TAT support. Yeah, TAT and TAT support. Yes. So our basic plan, it's really a very, very comprehensive plan, because it gives you the cost. At the starting is very low. So the whole idea is, all right, not many people actually are successful in trading, okay, or investing. Let's put it this way. So if I, let's say, charge a $10,000 cost and I give you 3 years of this, 3 years of that, right? No point, because I don't know whether you will continue, you will be successful. So what I like is that I like to keep the basic low first. And if you're successful, we continue. If you're not, then that's it. All right. So you have 12 months of hand holding, 12 months of indicator and a strategy. And then almost every day you have a session with us. So it's not like 12 months and I do like once every month. We are doing like, for my 2 courses, 7 sessions in a week. With TAT and this whole package, you're doing 5 sessions a week for 12 months. So how many lessons is that? 52 weeks times 5 sessions. You have 260 lessons with us. Sessions, not lessons, sessions. Plus the indicator, plus the strategy. I think this is cheaper than tuition. That's why we are increasing our price. Okay, so 2026, the price will 100%, 101% increased. So take it before it's up. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for your time, and I hope to see you. I do have another 2 more sessions in November. We will make the announcement. You can go to the website to register for that. Anyway, you are registered already. We'll send you the information. It has to do with also, questions that you might have about the market. So I'm doing that for the next coming session. And also the outcome of the screening of TAT today that we talk about. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for joining, and have a good night. Bye-bye.